Hi, I'm Jason.
Hi, I'm Jenny. Welcome back to Grace by the Drop.
Today we're going to be answering the question, how do I deal with other people trying to evangelize to me?
What?
A viewer followed up with our evangelism video, which we'll link somewhere up there. She said that she freezes when other people try to evangelize with her.
Oh, man.
And asked for some tips on people of other faiths trying to evangelize to her and how can she deal with that.
That's really great insight and an excellent question.
I think there are a few ways that we can deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
The first is if you're new to Christianity, if you feel like you're not very strong in the faith, if you feel that you're maybe still learning,
Mm-hmm.
you can simply tell people, I'm not interested right now.
That's okay to do.
Right.
Absolutely okay to tell them, I'm not interested right now. Mm-hmm.
Often when people come to your door, and let's say it's a Mormon or a Jehovah's Witness or someone like that,
Mm-hmm.
going door to door, and you don't feel prepared to discuss with them, to talk to them, to defend your faith, it's okay to say, I'm not interested. I think the second way to address the issue is if you feel like you do want to have a conversation with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know particularly what to say to that person because of their faith, ask questions.
Yes.
Make them justify their statements. Most people don't look deeply into their beliefs. And the reason I'm saying that is if someone's coming to you and saying, you shouldn't believe in Jesus, you should believe in somebody else, some other faith, and you ask them, why do you say that? Why do you believe what you believe? Where do you get the facts that back up that faith system? Most people cannot answer those questions. Questioning people on their belief system can be really effective. Actually, there's a book out by Greg Koukl called Tactics. He says, make the other people defend their claims. We, as Christians, have so much background in apologetics and evangelism that we often feel like we need to lay out all of the reasons why we believe what we believe. However, if someone's talking to you about their faith, they have to back up their claims. You don't have to jump on the bandwagon and start arguing with them or creating a debate. It's sometimes easier to simply sit back and say, can you justify what you just said? You believe in X, Y, Z. Why do you believe that? What evidence and proofs do you have to believe in that system? And you'll find that the more you ask that, the more people start going, well, because my guru says so. Mm-hmm. Or that's just what we believe. In the same way that a lot of Christians fall back on that because they don't have their training.
Exactly. And one of the things that you don't want to do is have to feel as though someone's up in your face or you're uncomfortable and that you're having to justify your faith when you need to remember to just, it's okay to kind of get them to backpedal and to calm down if you start getting to the point where you feel like there's going to be a debate or an argument because they're the ones that came to you. And as you said, it's great to have that response and asking them questions. Can you please explain to me or show me in your scriptures or sacred book why you believe what you believe and why this means this, who this person is to you in your belief system? Because then I want to open my Bible and I want to compare that to my Bible.
Right.
And that's another way to kind of journey with them through the process because there is an opportunity on both sides there. As Jesus himself said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. We also want to be kind, even if they're approaching us, so that way maybe a potential relationship comes together. And it's okay if things get a little heavy in conversation and you simply say, I'm sorry, can we just take a break for today? Or if they ask a question that you don't fully have an understanding on, you can either call a friend and talk with them, but it's okay to also state, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to get back to you on that because it's a really great question.
Right. We covered that in the evangelism
Exactly.
video. And that leads me into our third approach for when someone comes to evangelize to you.
Okay.
And that third approach is to engage fully in the conversation. However, before we engage in the conversation, we need to prepare the conversation.
Okay.
I believe that the best way to do that is to stop them from being across the table.
Okay.
We're not enemies.
Right.
It's better to get them on the same side of the table to have the conversation. If we go in saying we're going to debate, then there is no convincing the other person or us being convinced. Only hurt feelings can come out of that type of conversation.
Right, because then you're only focused on, I want to get my point across to you.
I want to win.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
no winning. There's no winning a debate.
No, there's not. And in relationships, it's not a competition.
So the way that I usually couch this is I say, look, I'm willing to engage with you in conversations about God, theology, philosophy. I'm willing to do that because I want to seek truth. And if you have the truth, I want to know it.
Yes.
But are you willing to do the same? If I have the truth, are you wanting to know it? Or are we just wanting to prove our points?
I see.
I'm willing to have this conversation if we're going to be truth seekers together. If we're going to sit on the same side of the table and both of us are seeking truth,
Like that way.
I'm down. Truth.
Down. Truth.
When we do that, we have immediately stopped the aggression, the aggressive conversation. And we said, look, we're going to lay it all on the table. We're going to put our ideas on the table, what I believe, what you believe, and we're going to look at them and we're going to give evidence for each of these beliefs. And then we're going to weigh them and we're both going to seek out which one's truth. Are you willing to do that? And if you're willing to do that, I'll have the conversation.
And that's a great plan and opening for clearing the minefield.
Once you're at the point where you can both look at truth, I think the next thing to remember in engaging in that conversation is to look for the lowest common denominator.
Yes.
There is no reason, if you're talking to an atheist, to discuss the Bible or Jesus or the resurrection of Christ or the Old Testament because they don't believe in God.
Exactly.
Right? Our disagreement is so far back that there's no reason to talk to them about it because we'll never get anywhere. So find the least common denominator. Do you believe in God? Yes or no? Do you believe in a personal God, which would go from deism to theism? And if we disagree there, that's where we're at.
Okay. So you're just trying to find your starting point.
Right.
Okay.
You move all the way back as far as you can to where we diverge in belief systems.
Okay. And one of the questions that comes to mind when I think about that is, okay, well, why do you feel the need to share this with me? In the Bible, Christ himself said for us to go out and make disciples. So there's a call to action item in our Bible. So I would want to ask the question of, why do you feel that you need to introduce me to this religion?
Right. What is the benefit of it?
Because to them, it's not just a religion a lot of times, it's a lifestyle.
And I found that sometimes asking people that question can quickly get to the point of the conversation. So the question was primarily about how we deal with other people trying to evangelize to us.
Yes.
And we talked about 3 ways to approach that. First, if you're not comfortable, don't engage.
Right.
Tell them you're not comfortable. Tell them you're not
interested
in engaging in that conversation. The second one is to ask them questions and just continue to make them justify their faith. The third is to fully engage and to start out that conversation not in a combative mode, not in an argumentative mode, but to get on the same side and say we're looking for truth. And then
establish a starting point.
We hope we've made that answer simple and clear. And if you have more questions on how to deal with evangelism or other people trying to evangelize to you, please put your questions in the comments below.
Yes. Certainly. We want to thank you for joining us again today on Grace by the Drop. We hope to see you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
And if you'd like to support what we do here, please consider going to gracebythedrop.com. We will see you in the next video.
Bye. That's loud. Hippie. Well, sometimes I don't, but then you look at me like, oh, you're not saying anything. I'm like, I don't know what to say. No, stick like we have been doing it, because I like it. It's fine. Like a battle axe.
No.
No?
No.
The sword. No.
You ready?
No.
I'm good with that.
Peppy. Fire bombs. Sorry. Just kidding.